Good morning, afternoon. Actually, it is afternoon. Getting to the reading a little late today. Is it afternoon? No, it's still kind of morning. Emperor, still at the bottom of the deck. Today is Friday, March 6th. My name is Lisa Maxwell. I'm here to do a reading again using the Gilded Tarot by Barbara Moore and Ciro Marchetti. I don't know why I keep going to this deck. It's just what's up, and it's what I feel called to use. Although I was using the Archangel Power Tarot card. Maybe I'll pull those over. I was using them for some questions that I was looking into and just getting some insight. Because that's what Tarot is. It just offers insight. And generally, and I absolutely do encourage you to listen to some of the astrologers. I've listened to a few over the course of many years, and so I've learned a lot. And the cards are definitely a commentary and maybe an artistic depiction of insights into the planetary movement. So we have a moon, and the moon is one of the greatest planets that it's not really a planet, right? It's the moon, but it's one of our planets, right? Who's to say? That moves really fast and can really affect our interactions, how we feel, our emotional field as we move through the course of the day. And it's moving from the sign of Libra, and then we'll move into Scorpio, just the first couple of degrees of Scorpio by midnight tonight. So when we hit midnight, it'll be at 4 degrees Scorpio in 4 minutes, actually. But Moon in Libra is inviting, we're looking for balance. We're looking for emotion, the places where we find emotional balance. And I noticed that when it lands in Scorpio at the 4th degree, that means that at that point, we're moving from a place of working with it starts, I think, at the 21st degree, which is a sign of Jupiter, which is a number of Jupiter, which is still retrograde in Cancer. Cancer, emotional intelligence. Talked about that yesterday. It's retrograde at the moment. But starting at that, using our emotional intelligence to find balance, Libra, and then moving into Scorpio at the 4th degree, which is the number of Aquarius, about where we belong, where emotionally belong, what we are, where we are, what we need to protect, where we want to invest, and how we want to protect where we emotionally invest ourselves and how we emotionally respond. What do we need to do to ensure that we are using those emotions as intelligently as possible? Libra is an air sign, that's intelligence. Now, Venus, the ruler of Libra, just ingressed into Aries. It's at the 0 degree of Aries, which is a number of Scorpio. See how these things all kind of like ping pong around? And what I'm saying is like, I don't understand what he's saying. Just leave it. Just let yourself absorb it. Yeah. And Venus in Aries is absolutely about going for what we want, what we value, getting real clarity. That instinct to go for it, pay attention to that. Maybe we don't necessarily act on it, but Aries is a sign of action. We got the Chariot again. Again, the sign of action. A card of action, of acting from an emotional place. But do we want to act like a 2-year-old emotional? Or, emotional, do we want to come from a 2-year-old, or do we want to, to again combine those emotions, combine those the intellect, the air, the mind. And with Venus in the sign of Aries, let the emotions show us what we value, what's important to us. Going back to what I entitled yesterday's the title of yesterday's reading, which was "What's the Heart of the Matter?" What matters to you? Page of Cups. Another getting emotional information about friend groups, what we value emotionally, where we are getting emotional value. I was just making notes on where the planets were earlier, and I see some notations from what I wrote a few days ago. What loves you back? What makes you want to invest? What makes you, take in a message of, this is also what you're willing to receive. This is messages. Messages are only as good as we are willing to receive them. Right? Like, messages go both ways. Do you want to receive messages? He has a full cup here, and he's bringing he's bringing information in. Now, I also am remembering that pages are young people, not necessarily a he. What are you open to understanding about what you need? What are you closed? This is emotional intelligence. Using this time of Mars retrograde in Pisces, Cancer still up, Jupiter still retrograde in Cancer. Both of these are water signs. Cancer is about emotional intelligence, initiating action from an emotionally intelligent place, using intuition. Both signs hugely intuitive. And and Cancer has the moon, which is also what's under the seams. The unseen, what's being reflected. The moon reflects the light of the sun. What's being reflected around you that can, that's showing up, that's causing your emotions to eliciting that emotional response, that's giving you information about what it is that you want. Venus and Aries, what do you want? What do you want? Are you speaking to your needs in situations, right? Are you, when you're having an emotional response, in order to drive things forward in a manner that brings stability? One of the things I realized in this card is the other day, which I didn't speak to, is that I noticed the 4 posts of the Chariot, which brings kind of that 4 of Wands energy in. She doesn't want to be rocking around like on her chariot, and getting whiplash. You don't want emotional whiplash. You don't want these whiplash. You want harmony. You want balance. Moon in Libra. We want harmony. We want balance within ourselves. We have to come from that place into speaking what we want, what we desire, in order to actually even get there. Remember, the Chariot came up at the bottom of the deck. We're building our own vehicles. We're building our own emotional intelligence. And the only way to do that is through interaction with others. We can't just be hermiting up and, that relationship didn't work out, or that work situation didn't work out, or, my creative project didn't really work out, so now I'm not going to do it anymore because I felt hurt because it... So what? You got hurt. Use the hurt to give you information. Right? Why is it that we love and go after the things that don't give back to us? Sometimes because it doesn't give back to us because we don't step forward into expressing what we need in a real way and work with and work. This is about home. Cancer is about the home, about our legacy. Do we want to keep leaving a legacy of love them and leave them? Or do we want to build a legacy of stamina? This is also emotional stamina, emotional maturity, developing emotional maturity, which this is not. This is, again, that Page of Cups, not necessarily emotionally mature because it's messages, right? It's just messages. But to build the emotional stamina, there's no way that we're going to build the lives that we want if we keep just ditching, if we keep ghosting one another. and just coasting in our relationships, like kind of accepting the status quo. So I'm not going to say what I want because I'm not going to get what I want. And, working off all of these assumptions. How do you know you're not going to get what you want? How do you know what the other person wants? The only way is if you're going to speak up. And then you start getting somewhere. I'm saying this all for myself as much as for you. There are things I want in my life, absolutely. These readings that I do, I'm pulling cards. These are, I was playing around with some cards earlier, but, this reading is as much for me as it is for you. Okay, 2 more cards coming up. Queen of Swords, yeah, getting really clear, but, using the using, so, wow, ooh, wonderful. And 10 of Swords, oh yeah, letting go of things that just don't, there are things that, something has died, something has passed on. So we're getting clear, but we're also, this is emotional clarity. This is, the Queen of Swords is something that will transform this energy into, what's at the bottom of the deck? The Ace of Swords, a really good idea about where you want to go. A really good idea, and a very single focused. Because something is over, it's done. The swords, it's ideologically doesn't even jive with you anymore at all. So she's taking her one sword and healing this situation. She's a healer. She's transforming. She's using her intelligence. This is not the King of Swords. This is the Queen. So she's got pulling in those emotional, getting information from the emotional field in order to heal this situation where, you feel like perhaps, you're too hurt to go on. Guess what? You're not. Even one of the things I was thinking about earlier before the reading was about what can we do? And this was coming from yesterday's reading. What can we do in our current life? What's working in our current life? Look around you. Again, look around you. What's reflected? Light of the moon. What's, reflected around you that's working? Go with that. It's giving you ideas about what you want. And that's going to help you be very decisive. Help you be very decisive. She's decisive in a way that's compassionate to self, transforming the hurt into something. It's a new beginning. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, Two of Pentacles. Yeah. So then now you're kind of like making some decisions, but just make a decision already. And then back to, again, the World. And I have the King of Swords actually upside down. So we're not really just going, that really super cut and dry, moving on. No, this is more the Queen. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Like, share, subscribe. If there's someone who needs this reading, pass it to them. If you... and yeah, just comment any comments that you have. I'm happy to go over anything that's coming up for you in the reading. And if you want your own private reading, oh yes, direct message me. This will be on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are the platforms. If there's yeah, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you, and we'll talk soon.